Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 28 of albums that are 50 years old in 2024 as we look back at the year 1974, 31 days in the month, our 31 favorite albums released in the year 1974 across all genres. Hope you're all doing well here this morning. It is cold, freezing rain, nasty once again here in the Hudson Valley in New York. It seems like it has rain, foggy, cold, a little warmish rain, foggy, cold for like the last week straight. It's kind of depressing weather after a while, right? I know the rain is always a good thing, but it'd be nice to have a little break. To me, it's wintertime. I'd almost rather have a little snow than all this kind of wet, foggy crap we've been having. Anyway, today for pick number 28, it's the third album from this British band. It is their first album for Chrysalis Records, their first album with their new guitar player, recorded in May of 1974 at Morgan Studios in London, England. Produced by Leo Lyons, of course, from 10 years after. I'm talking about Phenomenon by the great UFO. Hypnosis album cover, right? Very cool. There are the guys in the band right there. I actually have a t-shirt of that image. Pretty cool. This is their first album with the very, very young Michael Schenker, of course, the guitar player. Previously lead guitar player with the Scorpions, German band. They went out on tour. They kind of saw what Michael was doing. Mick Bolton wasn't really working out for them. They wanted to kind of change things up a little bit. Asked Michael to join. He said yes, and that is history, right? So joining Mr. Michael Schenker on lead guitar, of course, the great Phil Mogg on vocals, Andy Parker on drums, and Pete Way on bass. The classic lineup of the band. Yeah, you could argue, right, that the classic lineup of the band is those four cats and Paul Raymond, right? That really is what most people look at as the classic lineup of UFO, but this is basically the foundation of the classic lineup. So, of course, on this album, got some stellar tracks on here. You got Too Young to Know. Actually, no, sorry. Well, it depends on what edition you have, right? So I think in the U.S. and in the UK, it was a little. The track listing was a little bit different, but I'm going by what I'm looking at on my computer screen. But going by what I always remember on the album that I had, "Oh My" kicks it off. "Oh My" is a terrific track, and good indication of where the band is kind of going forward from here, right? Then you got "Crystal Light." "Crystal Light" is terrific. That's more of like an atmospheric type of thing. Really like that a lot. Of course, Dr. Doctor, probably their most well-known song. Probably, arguably. It's funny how for me, Dr. Doctor, it's kind of like very similar to The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy. You know, both bands have that one well-known song that everybody kind of associates with them, but for me, I think the band have a lot better songs than Dr. Doctor. I was never an enormous fan of Dr. Doctor. Space Child, really cool song. Then you got Rock Bottom. That's more like it. To me, Rock Bottom is the song on this album, not Dr. Doctor. Rock Bottom is big, lengthy, epic, and big and lengthy, just under 7 minutes long, but with that long, spiraling, amazing guitar solo from Michael Schenker. I mean, he was just a kid when they did this album, and what better way to announce your arrival onto the scene than Rock Bottom. All right. And then, of course, you got Too Young to Know. Very cool song, so that's what kind of screwed me up. So you have Too Young to Know and Oh My, I believe, were flip-flopped on UK and US release or something like that. Let's see. Time on My Hands, kind of bluesy, obviously, right? So it's a kind of a holdover from their more kind of like space rock, bluesy rock from the first two albums. Built for Comfort, also, but that's a Willie Dixon song. You got Lipstick Traces. All right, cool little instrumental, and then perhaps the underrated song on this album, and I really like it a lot, is Queen of the Deep, which is this kind of cavernous, heavy, Zeppelin-y, kind of big, doomy, stompy type track. Queen of the Deep is terrific. Man, that riff is just absolute killer. Love Phil's vocals on that. Really, really good stuff. And then, of course, if you get various reissues, you got interesting kind of like session tracks, right? Because they did a bunch of different recordings around this time for this album using, Dave Edmunds was working with them a little bit to produce them, right? So you got like 16, you got Give Her the Gun, Sweet Little Thing, right? So some additional album tracks that are available from this time period, from these sessions. So yeah, really good album. A lot of people like, oh, but that wasn't UFO's debut. No, they had 2 other albums before this, which are kind of weird. Like I said, blues rock, spacey rock type things. Yeah, for what they are, they're okay. But to me, they don't. It really shows a band that wasn't really quite sure what they were going to do yet or wanted to do yet, right? But here with this album, all the things are falling into place. And then with the next album, Force It really falls into place, right? Because I think as strong as this album is, Force It is even on another level, I think, as far as like songwriting goes. I think what's interesting about this album is you got all these different influences kind of coming. You got that kind of crap rocky thing from that Schenker brings along over from the Scorpions. You got that early blues rock and space rock thing. So they're trying to kind of figure it out. They're coming together, and more of the what we would know as the trademark UFO sound is in formation here. So, charts. Australia made it to number 76. U.S. Billboard charts didn't quite hit the top 200, made it to 202. But when this album was reissued back in 2019, this made it to number 36 on the UK rock and metal albums charts. Not too shabby, not too shabby. People targeting this album, later on when it came out again. It's always good to see when reissues come out of of old really good or classic albums that the interest is there and it drives up the sales, right? Singles. So Give Her the Gun was released as a single in early 1973 in Germany, or late 1973 in Germany, and then Dr. Doctor was released on March 22nd, 1974. So both in advance of the album, and then interesting enough, Give Her the Gun obviously did not make the album, so that was kind of like just a pre-album single, right? Not included on the album. So we saw that a lot back in the day, right? You had these singles that came out for, that probably would have been nice to be on the album. Black Knight from Deep Purple, right? That comes to mind. So, but nice to know when they include that on the albums later on, on the CD version. So anyway, that is my pick for today. Let us know what you think of Phenomenon down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 28. And we'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. Thanks in advance for all your support there. We'll see you soon in just a little bit for ranking the albums. Till then, I'm Pete Pardo. Have a good rest of the weekend, everybody. Stay dry and stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.